Today we're going to look at the Atlas Copco oil pump that's used widely on the ZR3, 4, 5 and 6 models. It's a gear type oil pump and we're going to show you the location now in this video. Here you can see the oil pump connected by one oil pipe and 4 bolts to the gearbox. It draws its oil from the sump, goes through the oil pump and into the oil cooler, which we're now showing. After the oil cooler, it goes through the oil filter elements. Here you can see that we've removed the oil pump and put it on the bench. What we're going to do today is look at a basic overhaul of the oil pump itself, although we're not going to take it completely apart for this video. It would actually take too long. Okay, what we're going to show on this video is the disassembly of the ZR3, 4 and 5, 6 oil pump and overhaul. First thing you see when you take off the cover is that you've got a gasket which is on here, and what you're looking for is marks here, deep scoring on here, by virtue of the fact that these two gears have been impacted. This is a little bit of marking here, but that's not too bad. And for the purpose of this, we've actually bored out these gears so you can actually get them out easier. This one specifically rotates with that bearing on that shaft, but the other one is retained by a circlip. We have to take the circlip off and then withdraw this gear. You can also note this valve, which is the oil pressure relief valve. Okay, now there's spring tension behind this, but not too much. So you've got a copper washer, you've got the cap itself, and sometimes what you'll find is if the compressor's had oil pressure problems, you'll find there's washers in here to increase the tension of this spring. Okay, you've got quite a long spring inside of there, and if you pop your finger in, you should normally be able to wiggle it loose. Okay, and what you find with this one is it's got an actual, some of them don't have this, some of them are just a plain steel, but this one's actually got a seal that you would exchange on it, okay, when you service the oil pump. Again, what you're looking for here is marks, an uneven surface. That's got to be absolutely flat, because that's going to seal up with the spring behind it on the bottom of the valve. So you also want to see if the valve seat's okay. Now, a bit like the ball bearing type valves like this, with the ball bearing ones you can actually seat them with a hammer. You can't do that with this. All you can do with this is give this a very light lapping and then try it in. But if you continue to have low oil pressure problems, it could be that it's the oil injector on the air end that's actually loose. So it's not always the oil pump's problem. If you've got low oil pressure, you've got to check other things as well. But basically, if you do continually have a low oil pressure, and by putting this back together, pop that in. Okay, put this back in. If you still have a low oil pressure problems, you could put a washer in there and screw this back on. It's a little bit awkward. Okay, make sure your washer's on. Okay, and I won't finish it, but basically you screw it back up. Okay, just on the back of the oil pump, if you're doing a full overhaul, obviously once you get the circlip off and the gear off, take this shaft off. You've got 2 ball bearings that you need to replace in there as well, which you've got to press off with the press. Okay. A service tip from the video is that if you continually have low oil pressure and the pump seems fine, then it could be the oil injectors on the rear of the element, and it's worth checking those and pointing to the bolt that often causes a problem. Thank you for watching.